looks like everything worked. Let's pop this up. Yeah, oh, that worked. Nice. It says I'm live. I need to refresh the page. Yep, and I'm live. Cool. Does the mouse thing work? Yep, mouse thing's working. Beautiful. So, that all actually worked. Nice. I've been trying to work on... Well, I'll let the intro kind of play through. I guess this isn't really part of the video. I've been trying to work on getting the streaming stuff playing smoothly. And everything looks right. Yeah, I am streaming. Everything's going good. I think we're good. Cool. I've been setting up something so hopefully, in theory, everyone's getting a notification now with the proper name and proper category. If that's true, if you're coming in or you have on the notification on your phone in Twitch land that the notification shows the proper game and everything, awesome. Thank you. If you could just let me know. But intro music off, captions are working everywhere, so we're good to go. Hey guys, we're gonna continue working on the Mario Party inspired game. I have good news, bad news, and great news. What's the good news? Maybe I just have bad news. Yeah, I don't know what was the good news. I practiced this, I swear. But the bad news is, that was the good news. The good news is, well, I should start with the bad. Nothing is scripted here, as you can see. The bad news is all the level design we've done is pretty much lost from last stream. When I say pretty much lost, I mean the data's gone. But I do have last stream, and I'm planning to watch all of last stream again and try to mimic those placements and everything, and then the little bit of work I did afterwards. I have screenshots as well. So that's all good. We're good there. We're not... yeah, that's the good news. The great news. Hey, Saint, here's 100 points. The great news is I have finally moved everything to my GitLab. So theoretically, this issue will not occur again. Sadly, the initial commit had everything I've done except what we were doing in the temp folder, because temp should never have been saved. So with that, we haven't moved much further from the last stream. What I've been doing instead of actually working on code, because why work on code, is I've been taking everything from my Mario Party Notion board and putting it over to this Grand Shuffle and having it laid out a little bit cleaner, a little bit more for me to easily grasp. Be wide. I wish I could set this as like the default. There we go. Having it a little bit clearer for me to set up everything, read everything easily, and all that. So I'm going to start here somewhat, just to re-explain what the game is, because the game itself isn't self-explanatory. So let's start there. I'm going to go with Grand Shuffle because, again, I've been reorganizing this. So I am making a Mario Party-like video game. There's a lot of core elements that are changing, Two of the major ones from last stream was we've decided we're going to try to get 6 players. And, or I guess this wasn't last stream, but it's a major thing that is different from Mario Party, is it's going to be card-based. Instead of rolling a die, the players are going to have a hand of cards, and the card is going to say what the effect is, as well as how many spaces they'll move. So that's this core component. It doesn't have anything in it. Buyable unlocks, of course. If you have any questions, just pop them in the chat and I will get to them. Make players consider moves ahead. That's just more of a reminder for myself to try to focus on that. All max movements should require at least one decision made on board. This is so that I remember, let's say the max movement's 10. You should not be able to move 10 spaces without some fork or some action of decision making. So that's what that's basically going to. Landing on the first spot of the game should result in you being the 1vn. That might change. I have some different ideas on how that should work. Push back the leader of the game while pouring up the last place player. Give the player as much control as possible. It's just a rule of thumb. Board editor. Right now, the plan for the board editor is you being able to change the spots in the default board configuration. Do you build the decks out of cards found on the board? Yes, because I'm thinking of them as like items. So instead of you getting like a triple die or something, you'll get to get a new card. And that card goes into your hand. But every time you use your hand, it goes into the discard pile that gets reshuffled into the draw pile. So if you buy a triple die for sake of an item, if you buy a triple die, you get to use it, but other opponents later in the game might be able to get to use it, which I think provides a little give and take. It also provides kind of a balancing system. If there is a player who is just struggling to keep coins coming in, they don't have to focus on buying items. They can just be like a scavenger and scavenge the draw deck to get cards they want or cards they hope. Let's see, what was in the movement? All players move around at the same time. That's what we were discussing last stream. I spent a bit of time trying to determine who I'm building this game for, and that's what this table here is for. Can I zoom? I can make the text smaller. That doesn't sound like it'd be good. I'm shocked there's no way to make a zoom. Well, that sucks. Hopefully you guys can see it. It looks somewhat legible on mine, but you might have to blow it up or go to higher res. I'll try to read through it as best as possible, though. These are things I want to implement, but I haven't put them into the core idea yet. Boards might need card restriction. If I create a card/item that would be pointless on other boards. In other words, it triggers like a board-specific event. I need to have rules on the board to say, hey, this item can't spawn no matter how much the players want it to. Might also have to do that with device restrictions. I'm planning to have everyone be able to use their phone as their input device, but that may change later. I might have controller support, computer, tablet, and all that, and certain things in minigames might not be possible with those devices. So just making a note there. This is a note to remind me because for a long time, board, B-O-A-R-D. We're building a Mario Party board thing. So it'll be not me. I guess I can kind of show you. So it'd be kind of like Let's keep local changes for now. I think I know what it's yelling at. I ran a quick thing. I saw it. Okay. So, and here's 100 points, 45 gunner. So, this is the board idea. We're going to go back to here. Collectibles like stars and coins, I'm planning to have them be board dependent. So each board is going to have its own special units of currency. And that might be a little hard to describe in the main menu. So I need to think of that a little bit more. Asynchronous mode. I would love if there was a way you can play Mario Party not simultaneously. Where if you and me are playing, you and me don't have to play at the exact same time. Like Raisins, Game Pro magazines, best currencies. Yes, so we're not there yet, but I'll go quickly to them. One of the boards is a racetrack, which I'm going to go to the Mario Party one because I need to grab images. Is a racetrack, something similar to this. Move my face over here. So the idea is you're going to go around the racetrack, and my idea is coins will be fuel, and the spots on the board, the spaces on the board, will actually take a fuel for every space you move. So as you're moving, you have to pay fuel, which keeps currency very low in that game mode. Oh, I can zoom in on the image, ooh, but I can't zoom in text. Why have that? Okay. We were down here. Should be able to handle viewers. Okay, so I want to have audience mode, kind of like Jackbox game. And one of the things I want to do, similar to Play It Up, is be able to have it where if you have a multiple streamers playing the game, all their channels' chats can come in as an audience instead of having it where only one host can put in their information. That's more research. Store a copy of detailed stats of each game. It'd be nice. I'm one who loves looking at data and trying to analyze things, so that's a thing. This is for the demo idea. I just want to make it where trial mode is infinite, but it ends immediately once you reach your end condition. Okay. I'm very bad at names. I am sincerely sorry, so I'm going to say Ellis? Hopefully I pronounced that name correctly. Here's 100 lore. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully I can earn a subscription from you. There should be a way for... This is me, develop-wise. I should have a way to be able to see the paths on a board zoomed out and not have to pathfind everything. I need to store the last player's spot path. This is just for future capabilities. Any player should be a few. Yes, this is a reminder saying, hey, Mario Party, one of the big gimmicks that really get people in is the ability to almost always win, potentially by luck. And I need to ensure I keep that. A cool idea I had was a self-trap. So instead of having a warp block, you would have a warp spot that you'd put down, and anyone who lands on that spot will warp to another spot on the board. And my idea is having something called a self-trap, where you put that spot down directly in front of you. The card only gives you one move to move forward, ultimately making you land on the trap and warp yourself somewhere else. I thought that was a cool idea. A reminder for me to look up hex code mods, not modes, in the Mario Party games to get more ideas, testing, one to implement partner play, and then allowing players to choose pronouns and their colors to help identify them better. Nothing's in my ideas. I have an idea written from literally today, but I haven't written it up here yet. Cards are going to break into two different categories. You're going to have tricks and you're going to have traps. Tricks will affect another user, including yourself, or traps will be like the orbs in Mario Party 6 and 7 and capsules in Mario Party 5. Hopefully I got those numbers right. And you'll be able to put them on the board. To answer Saint's question, is there going to be a character builder or is it going to be something like Mario Party or Monopoly? Kind of both. Let me just pop this in. I'm working in the Godot engine. I have a couple of things already, but technically lost a little bit in data. Pronouns, why not just names? So, reason why pronouns and not names is if I want to reference a person's possession of something, like this is his spot or hers coins, I could use the name. I could be like, this is John's spot and James coins, but names can get really long, which can bloat out the dialogue blocks. And Mario Party is already a typically slow game, which results in if multiple dialogue blocks have to go through, I'm just slowing it down for no good reason. So giving the player a way to put pronouns in that are just, let's say, up to 5 characters will give me a block of like, okay, this is how much identifiability I need to use to it. Shortening the dialogue blocks. So it's not just like I'm trying to appease people. So right now, I'm thinking of using Synthy Store to do a lot of assets. They're on it's there right now. I'm actually considering buying one tonight. But let's see if I can find, where do they have a character set? You know what? They have this. I'll just go here. Because I can just go here and clear, and clear. There you go. So I'm thinking of using the characters from various packs here. So there might be some customability, but you will have like tokened characters. How much, where it is, that's going to be a later decision. I'm somewhat leaning to not for customization and more like tokens and costume pieces, but we'll see. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm watching my camera move back and forth on this side, so I'm hoping that it's staying where it needs to stay. So drafting, I haven't coded this up, but I have some rough pseudocode. Basically, at the start of the game, each player will have a hand size, all being options that they can customize, and they'll get to draw n number of cards in a drafting style. So you'll have, let's say, 5 cards in a pack. You get your pack, pick your card that you want in your first hand, move the packs to all the other players, and each player draws until there's 2 cards left in every pack. Those packs get all bundled into one. I cut the deck in half, basically, and that becomes the randomized deck that you'll be playing out of. Discarding and using. Anything that's discarded or used will return to the deck. And destroying and or undefined actions will get removed entirely from the game. I have a couple of card attributes already in mind. Normal cards, of course, and then I have dissolve cards, which will dissolve themselves after a n number of uses. What's the max amount of cards you can have? That will most likely be up to the engine limitation. I'm planning to have the phone. I don't know, Ellis, when you came, but I plan to have the phone as the main. Put my phone right side up. plan to have the phone as the main controller, so really I could put it into a scroll bar and it'd be fine. So it really is going to be, how does playtesting work? Where do people like and don't like the capability? But I personally am not going to try to limit options, because one of the big objectives I'm going to try to do is do something that a lot of Mario players wish Mario Party would do, is open up the options to everyone. So I'm going to try to keep as many options open and less hard-coded stuff. Some card effects I have listed here. I'm not going to read through the details, but you'll be able to steal cards and all sorts of stuff, swap all sorts of stuff, restore spots, which are going to be the spaces on the board, place a spot, share gold, which is going to allow you and another player to share gold for a temporary period of time, draw n number of cards. You do not lose coins this turn. Draw any number of cards and to play instead of one. Play one instead. So instead of you getting the card effect, you'll draw any number of cards and play one of them that you drew. Give a card to a select player, discard any number of cards, and add that card to their movement, so you can keep discarding cards and get more movement. If you lose coins, a select player loses them instead. So basically, it's kind of like sharing the gold, except instead, you're just taking the gold from the other player as you use it. Get one card that it was used or discard this turn. Basically, draw from the discard pile. Hey, somebody joined the Discord. So many notifications over here. It's so all over the place. ADHD. I do not like it. Get one card. Yep. Okay. Buy moves. Basically, you can put your gold and convert it to moves. Your coins and convert it to moves. Destroy a hand. Disable selected player's card ability, so they only can move, can't use the ability. Hey, Ellis, thank you for joining. Awesome. Repeat your last number of moves. Reset all players' hand to the starting size. Copy another player's drawing. Oh, anytime another player draws a card, you'll draw one. Combine and split yours and a selected player. This is kind of combining hands, splitting them up, and you get the even card. Any card action would apply to this card. This is more of a protective card, so if somebody's going to steal your hand, this card basically is a temporary aspect of that hand. Copy this card and select hand and put in. So this one basically makes a copy of itself, or makes a copy of another card and puts it in your hand. Bank robbing. Mario Party 3, 2, I think even 1 had banks. I think they took banks out in 4. Basically, I'm planning to add banks back, but this card will basically allow it where when you walk past a bank, it's equivalent to you landing on it. You're able to get all the money out instead of putting money back in. Receive a randomly destroyed card. Is this a game that will be published to Steam? Hopefully. This is a game that came out of my desire to make a big style game, a game that would be worthwhile to go on Steam. And one of the things I was looking into is I generally hop from game project to game project to game project without any real focus. And I was like, what game allows me to do that but still work on the same project? And I thought Mario Party, because I could just build all the mini games whenever I want to hop. Apply all the card effects. Use this turn by all other players. That's a little bit more complicated, but I can explain it. Hey, I sell 4 hats. Yo. Here's 100 points. I hope you're having a great day. We're just quickly going through what I have, quickly being a very loose term. Plyo effects prevent single player movement, but they draw an extra card. Draw a card, discard, gain, move, steer this turn. I think this would allow you to like steer other people's moves as you walk by them. Deck fill. I don't recall what that does off the top of my head. Move n number of times this card has been used in game. So some of you might be reading some of these card effects and going like, man, these are going to be like overpowered items. And one of my ideas is I'll restrict the item. First, it will be in options. I'll restrict the item by default so that it doesn't show up often. And we'll see how that goes. Minigames. I'm hoping to have variants in minigames, so there'll be times. Oh my gosh! Hello, Orbitus. Orbitus. Yep. Here's 100 points. Welcome. So I'm hoping to have variants in minigames, so this will allow losers and winners. So unlike Mario Party, where when you play a minigame, it's the same one every time, you might play a minigame, but it's a variant now. For example, losers will win. So instead of you trying to score the most points, it's now a objective to you scoring the least. Day's just starting. Wow, it's 2300 over there. Woke up 3 hours ago. Time to fix some bugs and do a release candidate build. Nice. Well, hopefully the bugs are easy to squash, and hopefully the build is easy to come out. New records, this is just really notes for myself to say like what I want to record. One thing I want to do, I don't know why they haven't done it in Mario Party. It annoys me every time it comes up. Computer players should not be able to make records. Because then like you don't have the aspect of the human anymore. So I'm gonna not allow that. I might make that an option. I'll let you guys decide if that should be an option or not. But to me, it shouldn't. Have you gone into college for game dev? So I did not go into college for game dev. I went into college for computer engineering. I am a professional programmer by trade. I've been working programming for over 10 years professionally. And I do game development as a hobby. I'm kind of happy I didn't do game development in industry because I've heard that industry is actually very tight and kind of has a lot of negative practices that wouldn't go with my flow of life. Synchronized minigame inputs, of course, the idea is having the phone as the controller. Many phone games have input desync, and I have a couple ideas on how to prevent that. Need to have a passive way for players to play minigames. This idea is if there's a 2v2, it's a 6-player game, so if it's a 2v2, the other 2 players should not be passively waiting. And one of the ways I have for them to play is they'll join the audience, and or they'll be able to bet on the outcome of that minigame and possibly score some coins back. So they're at least a little bit invested in it. Asynchronous minigames, this is mostly me saying to myself, 1v3 is not the problem. Potentially how Mario Party implements 1v3 is the problem, because it really should be a catch-up mechanic. I'm going to quickly go in depth in this and then I'll pour out real quick. Basically, whoever is the one should either have a guaranteed loss or a guaranteed win. And if they're a guaranteed win, they should be like one of the last players in the rankings. If it's a guaranteed loss, they should be one of the first players in the ranking, and it should be used as a catch-up mechanic. I haven't studied Mario Party to know if they're actually doing that, but that's how it should be used, and that's how I'm hoping to use it in mine. This is me talking about how the core lobbies will work and how minigame betting will work. Here's the various types of minigames, various types, and then here are the specific minigames themselves. Right now I'm sitting at 23 count here. I think there's like 26 in the old one, but the old one had some things where I don't see it. Is there also a mustard mechanic? If you can give me a great idea thing on a mustard mechanic, I would be 100% for it. But right now, I do not know of a mustard mechanic. There'll be air hockey, arcade basketball. Blast Away is basically both players are in rockets, but as they're pushing the fuel button on their rockets, they're actually fueling up the other rocket. And the one who launches off into space loses, of course. Chain Down, this came from a stream recently where I was playing Chain Up. And how do I want to click the row. There, fine. And basically one of the situations we were in is we were on a small platform with chains holding us down or pulling us down. And I thought that'd be cool to have that type of mechanic and then have the weight just keep getting bigger and bigger and pulling you off, and last one standing wins. Defuse Blitz, this is a bomb diffuser game. Dynamite Relay, this is hot potato except you're running around a track. Fast Food Line Cook is you make recipes as fast as you can. Flying Ace is a World War I dogfighting game. Fortnite Lite is not going to be a final name of the game, but it's going to be a 6-player micro Fortnite run. Harvester is going to be a harvesting game, farming game, where the machine that collects the corn is moving at a audience-controlled speed, and you're the harvester trying to keep up with it to capture all the corn that's falling out. Mechanical Bull, pretty self-explanatory. Minecart Rider is going to be like the old DK games where you're riding down and you have to jump the tracks to stay going. Nighthog is a game that already exists, but I'm planning to recreate it, where you basically are trying to fight each other's directions with various weapons. Peak Balance is the peak of the mountains getting smaller. Last one on top wins. Pinball is Pinball. And Pinball I came up with before the new Mario Party came out, so... Quick Draw, draw a shape, but again, it's going to be on your phone, so I'm planning to have vibrations and other things to make that difficult. Quiz Time is going to be just you quizzing other players, 1v5 and stuff like that. Safe Reward, it's password guessing. Ski Bar, Split the Room. This is a game where you're trying to, of course, split the room like Jackbox game is like, except I'm ensuring that there's 6 players. 2 are going to be the ones who coming up with things, and 4 are going to be the ones trying to not split the room. So, Tinder Truth, I thought this would be funny to have like a Tinder game where it's a true or false game, and you're swiping back and forth. Viking Beat Race is just Match the Beast, and Zombie Spotter is a counting game. Have you seen pics of the semi-manual industrial farming harvesting where people are hanged in a modified tractor and act as a pickup mechanic? They do this in UK. No, that's interesting. I might have seen it, but that is interesting. Yeah, you're allowed to put links. Of course, make sure the links are safe. YouTube people aren't going to be able to click the links, but you're able to put them in for the Twitch people. Sorry, YouTube. Spots are going to be where on the board. I'm going to not explain all the spots, but there's a couple. There's 28 of them already in ideas. More types, player spots. These are spots that will only activate if multiple players are standing on the same spot at the same... Oh, no. That is not. That is this one. What is multiplayer events? Look into multiplayer boards that only do when one more player lands on the same... Okay, these are actually in this... Oh, no. Sorry. This one is actually about doing that. This one is a reminder to have 1 to n players being able to stand on the same board. And then undoable moves, that may or may not be possible. And this is just for me remembering how spots work. Okay. I mean, it looks sad, but it's how it's done. I guess it's okay. Political commentary and something in the game. Yeah, I'll have to see about that. I'm depending on the political commentary, I'm gonna try to avoid it because I find generally putting political statements in games cause headaches. But I will check all these links out. I think that's enough links though. It's not like partisan. Yeah. But here's some of the spots. If you guys want me to pick out any of them just quickly to read them, I can. But plan to have bonus stars. It's more of how your food comes to the table kind of thing. Yeah. My idea for bonus stars is each player at the very beginning of the game, each player will only know about 1 of the 6 possible bonus stars at the end. The reason why is what I see in a lot of Mario Party games is the bonus stars basically become a who has it grab at the end. And I think if each player at least knows about 1, they can strategize a little bit. And because each player will only know about their own one and not any of the other ones, it also promotes guessing of what the other players are going to do. I just remember about it when you mentioned the machine minigame, as it literally is that. Possibly. I'll have to see. Here's some of the mini bonus stars. This is the lowest ideas because in theory it will be some of the development at the end. I have how many boards now? 6, 7 boards, and I'm planning to potentially buy the kit to make an 8th board, so we'll see how that goes. And then some options that I've already had. I'm going to split options into game options and player options. And the game options are going to be specifically how that game will run, and the player options will be influencing and or how the player will view the game. So max draft time to draft cards, starting hand size, what units you see the game, be it meters or feet, the board that's selected, the board mode that's selected, max number of turns, when the final 5 turns starts. So if you want, you could have the game start at the final 5. The minigame selection. Oh, how people vote for minigames. Allow audience to control the bots. So this idea is if you have an audience, I will give it where the audience, when you're playing the board, can still be engaged. You can allow them to play as any of the bots in the game as well. And I have some logic on how to divide that up. Allow betting on minigames, allow updating the minigame rating. I'll explain that a little bit deeper when we get into player options. Empty deck draw. When the deck is empty and there is no discard pile, what should happen? Should the game end? Should you get a random card? So on and so forth. Skip CPU only events. That's a classic. Card effects. What is one? Oh, should cards even have effects? Do you want items in your game, or do you just want it to be movement? And then allow debt. Do you want the players to be able to just fall into debt themselves? Players can choose how they see units. And then the preferences. This allows you to rank both cards and mini games to your liking, and I take all those rankings, adds them together, get the average, and that will be how often those mini games or cards show up in your game. So, deep breath. That is everything documentation wise, minus the old minigame stuff. So, back here, if you didn't catch the beginning, I had some bad news. I lost the board we were designing. I lost it. My archive has it one stream prior to the last stream, so I basically only lost what we did last stream. Oh yeah, Godot is nice. I like it. It works with how I think about design. Downside is we did lose it. Good thing is I wasn't really planning on working that. I spread it out badly. Political game likely other curves would resonate only with people who have worked there. Yeah. And then there you go. I use that thing for GUI design and embedded Linux and for industrial control. Yeah, I was wondering if anyone's ever done that. Thank you for informing that, because I was actually considering using it to build my website. Okay. So what do we have here? I have the very basic of the movement system coded up already. And when I say basic, I'm saying this is back when it was all turn-based. And basically, when I hit the space bar, don't mind the slowness, it will generate a random number between, I think, 1 and 3, and the pill body thing will move that. It should take about 10 seconds for each time it moves. So this time it's moving 7, so it's a lot faster. When it moves 3, it's a lot slower. I think that's kind of a funny little gimmick. However, that might all change because we're planning to move everything simultaneously now. Yay, development changes. Oh yeah, I have it on my custom Linux board for simplicity's sake. Can you imagine being Raspberry Pi? Oh yeah. It's also nice to have graphs and tables and transitions for menus. Oh yeah. Trying to get out of the 90s style of menu design. So this is how that works, and what I wanted to try to do today is I want to try to add another player and see what happens if I put them to move at the same time. Now, in my theory, in my head, I should, that's a place, I should be able to just copy the character placeholder and do a little bit of modifications. But I imagine there's a lot of things that are going to break when I do that. I have it talking to a C server backend, which actually does the data collection and hosts it on a UDP on the local host. Making it universal Godot part makes it easy to move from board to board. Oh yeah, nice. So let me ignore this. I should be able to just create a new branch for that. So one of the things I wanted to have GitLab capability is to split off branches for my experimenter. So this is synchronous movement experiment. And we'll create a branch. And we'll bring the changes into that one. And we're going to kind of figure out how this is going to work. So we're going to need another character to make it universal. Yep. As well as Godot doesn't have any hardware access like GPIO or UART access that I could easily add in C#, but then I have to rebuild it every time. You might want to look into, I don't use it. I want to say expressions, but that is not it. There's a way to like fast reload the back end of Godot. So you might want to look into that. I don't have the name off the top of my head. Okay, so let's duplicate the character. throw the character over here for now. So that's all good. And the character has its script, which is going to try to do a board move when that gets called. Moves towards the center. All that looks good. Let me expand this out so that I'm not pressed against the code. I think it was like right about there. Yeah, that looks good. I'll push this back right about there. Okay. So, guys, I'm sorry if this is a little boring. This is the thing I have been pushing back for the longest time. Yeah, Godot can't directly access hardware. I have to split it off in the far away and put it on a UDP. Okay. I wonder if you can go from UDP to like a WebSocket and access it through a WebSocket in Godot. That way, even if I change to Unity someday, backend still stays the same. Oh yeah. Model view controller design. Hey Scam, you don't like the title. What is the title? Why do you not like the title? Okay, Scam. You might need to update that one. That one's gotten a little base. What is my title? Why do you not like the title? Title should be updated. Oh, you don't like data loss? I'm sorry, Scam. I didn't like it either. Probably, but easier to code UDP on C. Okay. This is going to take the moves. It's going to take the thing. It's going to move to the center. Okay. So both these players should be fine. My big concern is this remote transform, which I use basically as what I call the cart. Cart. C-A-R-T. Where instead of the player actually moving, the player kind of hops onto a cart and then the cart moves them from spot to spot. And my concern is I don't think I can assign a character to multiple parts. But now that I think about it, if I remember right, in game, I actually don't assign the character to the spot. Remote path. But did I? I think it was up here in the main code. I input, okay. I generate a number of moves. I tell the character to update it moves. That's going to need to be changed. I'm going to have multiple characters now with multiple moves. I start the time so that I know the time start. I tell the character to run the on start for that spot. And then for every move, I check to see if it's passable. If it's not if the passable has returned to be false, then I need to stop the movement, and I stop the movement there, and then I land the character, get the movement. So that's none of that is there. So is it in the place or in the spot code? Or no, the place code. One of these codes assign the remote transfer. I just don't recall which one. Execute change, on move, has move, move character. There you go. So I get a character from a board and I check to see if there's available path. If there is, I tell the character to move themselves. And if the character is moving themselves, then I give them the path. They find the cart, okay, and they set themselves to the remote path. That's not good because I only can set one character to the remote path. That's not good at all. I don't like that at all. And as it's a local host, I don't mind. Okay. I might have to go back to an earlier idea where every player held their own cart and would move the cart to the path they want to be on and then tell the path to move them. Good thing I'm on my experimental branch and I can do that without breaking everything in the game. Okay, so if we wanted to do that, then each player is going to have its own cart. Cart, C-A-R-T, thank you. And that solves this because this can just be a self-reference to itself. And I can just grab from place 2 the same thing and place it as a self-reference to itself. So now none of the places will know about its place or its cart. The problem now, though, is I now need to be able to move this, the cart item, underneath the path. And the cart item needs to be named uniquely because there could be multiple carts under it. So let's go character cart 1. And let's go character cart 2. Because ultimately it could be under here, and if I have 2 nodes with the same name, they'll collide, and Godot doesn't like that. So this ensures that they'll never collide, and I'll just have to manage that somewhere else in my life. Okay. So let's quickly walk through this input again. I need to get the player movement for this guy. I think control. Yep, there we go. So now I have player 2. And player 2 also needs a number of moves. And then whoever has the most number. Oh, this is so many little things are going to change. Okay. So let's just do this. Is this what? Actually, no, I don't need that. No, I don't need that. Because update step length, I don't need to do anymore because I'm only calculating turns step by step. So I just need the player to know if they have any moves left, which can be calculated on the player's on move. Because I could move the character, get the path, find all that, do the movement, and then is passable going to be calling the original. There's a lot of complex code because I've already coded out some future proofing for like spots. But okay, so is passable is going to see if it can call the original. But this Boolean needs to be a decremental for the number of steps. And if the number of steps is greater than 0, then is passable returns true. And if the is passable returns true, then in test, is passable will be good. But if is passable, dang it, my fire alarm's beeping again. Dang it. So if is passable, if is passable is false, then the character is going to stop. But I need to know which character is going to stop. I just remember another thing I wanted to do in Godot at some point. I want to make a lab acquisition control tool that can dynamically change, like changing graph styles and stuff. That shouldn't be too hard. You might want to look into like level editors in Godot on how to do that. Need a new fire alarm battery? I do. And I literally put in I took Friday off last week. I put in a request for maintenance to come in. You know what they did? They ignored me completely. So I'm done. It's gonna die. It's gonna die eventually, and we just have to accept this fate. I'm sorry it's gonna annoy you. If it's very loud, I can shut my door and at least quiet it, but yeah. Because the standard's not really a standard. Oh wait. The hard part of adding support in all Linux, LX items, data sources. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm in the same way, 45 Gunner. Okay, I'm gonna shut the door because it's at least loud to me. Give me 1 second. By the way, guys. It doesn't do that. It does not do that, except whenever I'm planning to just about to start the stream or as I'm streaming. It does not do it any other time in my life. It's the most annoying thing. I almost wanted to bet to see if it was going to do it. That should be a lot quieter, hopefully. Okay. So the character is going to know if it needs to stop. So what I should do is I should have a pool of characters. So we're just pseudocode this up a little bit. That's not how you comment in Godot. How do you comment? There you go. I was saying 9-volt battery if you be in the EU. I would box them. It's not really the battery that's the issue. I pay so much money in rent that they should be able to come out and put a 9-volt battery in. For how much I'm paying, I asked them to come out and put a 9-volt battery. It might be a little petty, but that's what I did. Okay. So we need to create a pool of characters. For each character, we roll the die. Eventually it will be a card, but for pseudocode it will be rolling dice. I need to get used to this. Up at work they want spaces before the comments. We will then update the character with their current die roll. And we'll put a tab here. It's common lab consumable zip ties, yogurts, and 9-volt batteries. Oh yeah. We should do our start time, but that's not critical here nor now. Okay, that buzz is in my headset. I am not going crazy. Okay. Then every character we call their on start. So for each character we call their on start. On start will allow me to have events occur at the very beginning of your turn. One of the ideas, let me open up Notion and bring up an idea on that one. Or not, it's not going to be cards, it's going to be here. Here's a good one. Card shop. That's on move. Sorry. Here we go. Double trouble. The starter's next on turn or on land effect is doubled. So I don't want it on the current on land, but your next turn, when that ends, wherever you land, it will double the effect. So I want to do on start for that stuff. You should make it a gag and learn the beat and beep with it. Could I bet it releases a certain frequency. I bet I could pause that frequency and make StreamerBot do some things. But that's a lot of work for very little. I hear if you pay for it, it's the principal. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we got on start working. Now the movement. So, wow. This will be a while loop, which I don't like it's going to be a while loop. It doesn't have to be a while loop. It should be a while loop, because then I don't have to worry about a bunch of other nonsense down the line. One of the nonsense that popped into my brain is if I didn't make it a while loop and I just went, I'm just going to grab the biggest movement and just do it for that number of times. If a player lands on a spot that gives them like 5 more movement and that's greater than the biggest one, then I'm screwed. I'm out of luck, and they're not going to get all their moves. So, wow, characters, wow, any character can move. So I'd have to call the on move thing to get that. Depends on manufacturer, 30 to 60 seconds by standard beep. You would think that, but this, oh, okay, by 45 gunner. You would think this, but this fire alarm is the weirdest one I've ever seen. It does that. It will be every 30 or 60 seconds, but then it just stops for who knows how long. And then it just starts up again. Like, it didn't beep for the last 4 days. And then it just started up middle of the stream. Woo! Gotta love life. Okay. We're actually doing really good on time. So while the player can move, which means I need to call the on move event. Which the on move event, we're just, what does the on move event do? The on move event, we'll call the on move character, and it will call the callback for the thing. It will see if it can run the original execution, and it will see if it's passable. What is on move character? Hi, J baby. Here's 100 points. I hope you enjoy them. Okay, on move character does the movement. I don't want to do that. So that's going to have to change. That's going to have to get split off into its own thing. Because I need to do can character move without moving. And then or any character can move, so I can just loop through all the characters, check to see if they can move. That will run the on move event, and then inside that, if inside that will have to be an array. My guess is the batteries gain a voltage recovery when the temperature changes as the load is so light. It charges above and below. That is a good guess. I will have to do some experiments on that, but that's actually a really good guess. Move without moving is some gilded navigator shit from the Dune. Yes. Move without moving. It should be technically like check if passable, and then with move. But what I need to do, does Godot have a do wow? Does anyone know that off the top of their head? Do wow Godot. Is there a good do wow in Godot? There is not. Nice. While true, conditional break. I don't like that. I don't like any of these. So I guess we'll stick with this. I don't like it. No one likes it, but it will simplify the code. Okay. Let me just shove that somewhere where it doesn't look right. Look at all the red. It's beautiful. Sorting space or whatever it's called. Yeah. Okay. So the reason why I want to do wow is because I want it to do a move for every character, if a move is possible. Then, only then, check to see if a move is possible to stop moving that character. Or just if all moves have been done, then you can stop moving that character. So this will be while true, hashtag fake do wow. And then we'll do the do portion because that's how I'm used to it. So if the conditional break, and this conditional will be if all characters have no moves left. Yeah, that will work. Okay, guys, people who are viewing this right now, quick question on how the game code should work. If imagine this, let me pop in the 3D world. Hey, look, my characters are next to each other now. If we had two characters on the same spot, and one moved one spot, and the other moved two spots, so we went 1, 2. When should they land? Should they do this? Let me undo things. Should both characters move to this spot? And then one character stops but hasn't landed yet, so it hasn't the effect of the spot hasn't triggered. And then the next character moves, it hasn't landed yet, it finished its move. The first character doesn't move anymore, and now both spots happen at the same time. I'm hit and miss because if I do both spots at the same time, that could be somewhat boring if you landed on like a game space or something that should have a big effect. And it just sits there and it's not doing anything. But if I wait until the turn is over and then do all the land effects, no, I can't. It has to be it, because if this land effect is adding moves, then I won't know. So whoop. Bye-bye. That's how that works. Okay. So it has to do the land check as well. So what this check actually should be is not if. Should be all players have landed. And if they have all landed, then the game's over. What did I do here? Yeah, I did nothing extra for fanciness. But I'm going to have now a Boolean for has landed. Okay. So if they all landed, break, turn is over now. If they haven't landed yet, then they're still moving. And if they're still moving, then I need to do something. Go I'd go with a strict sequencing by initiation of priority. I'm still thinking I'm going to try asynchronous. Of course, there's going to be asynchronous pattern, and it's going to be defined by the how the characters are in the pool. But I'm thinking I'm going to try to go as asynchronous as possible. Okay. And add space because I am losing my mind slowly. Okay. So now, if the player hasn't landed and they've started a move, then now I can actually call... I don't need this nonsense. Now I can call on move is passable break. I'm totally scared of anything asynchronous from the actor of FPGAs and the logic board. I agree. I am not happy with asynchronous, but I think to get Mario Party to the speed that the fans want, where a 30-turn game can be done within an hour, you have to do asynchronous movement. And it sucks, but it speeds up the game. Now, the downside is you're not going to get to see everyone's animations. But from what I'm gathering is a lot of people aren't interested in the animations as much as you'd hope. Okay. So, I need to check to see if... So, for each character... I need to go through and do a couple of things. I need to jump back to the characters here. On move, I really just need the is pass ability, which means I need to execute the spot. And if it is possible, then they can move again. This is where I dislike Godot. I wish the editor could have multiple windows of code, because I'm going to be hopping back and forth between this quite often. Okay. So let's start with this. This will make the character move. Guaranteed. So that character is moving. But I need to check to see if that character can move again, because I need to check that before I move the character. You can use VS or VS Code as an external editor. Yeah, I know I can use VS Code. I do like that everything's in one package, but I wish I could split screen. Of course, with how little the screens are, is it really worth it in the end anyways? So you have a 3D and inspector stuff in Godot, but when you click on the code, it opens in VS Code. I might look into that. I don't know yet, but it might be something I look into. Yeah, I have 3 screens. So I have 3 screens, except I'm streaming, and some of my screens take up streaming stuff. Okay. Let's pretend that the character has... Yeah, the character... Let's pretend the character has a... Wait, not the character. Where's all my code? I don't get anything. The place. Oh yeah, the place moves the character. I'm an idiot. So the place, check to see if it's passable. It moves the character though before it does that. By checking to see if it is. because I did the check to see if it's passable to determine if I needed to exit. Okay. So can I get around that without rewriting characters? Super Mario Bros. I can't see the emotes. Oh, I can make it a little bit bigger. I can't tell what that is, but yeah, nice little emotes. So I need to only move the character if it's possible. So I'm just going to have to split those two options. There's going to have to be a check to see if passability and a split to see if split to move the character. That's just going to have to be how it's going to be. Is if character is on a passable route, if the character is on a passable route, I need to check if the character... Oh wait, I have the move. I have the roll. If the character's on a passable route, oh, I'm an idiot. This becomes actually far simpler. Why is no one explaining this? Gosh. If the character moves are greater than 0, then check to see if they can passable and move them. Very simple right there. Else, actually, before I do the else, I need to go if is passable, if is not passable. So they are on a route that stopped them for whatever reason. Then character moves should equal 0 now. So if the character has moves, move them. If the character is on an is passable, if the route results in an is passable being true or being false, then make the character not able to move anymore. Done. Then if all characters, yes. So I do that all works nice. There should be an else if here. And this is going to be the on landed nonsense, which is very simple in the sense that it's just going to trigger what the character is doing. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. Watch this nonsense right here. So this actually is going to be an else, because I'm a crazy person. We're not going to have that yet, but we're not there yet. Don't spoil the secrets, my dude. We're just going to theoretically up the character out of the pool. So up here we define a pool of characters. I should put moving characters. And we start them all up because we know they're going to all start. And then while true, they're either going to move or they're going to land. And word wrap. I can fix it. Give me a second, guys. Oh no, that didn't fix it. Interesting. Okay. word wrap's just going to be a word wrap, I guess. So if they are at 0 or negative moves, then they are on a land. We're going to introduce the land and we're going to pop them out of the pool. Then this if just basically goes, if pool is empty, then we break the while loop. I'm fairly certain I can do that in a for loop. I need a for loop. There's a for loop. Okay. I need a for loop with an array. Let's go jump into this real quick and get Godot for loop through array. Let's see if this logic works. So this is where I'm so glad I got this plugin that allows me to evaluate GD scripts down here. If you have captions, I'm so sorry I can't really move it up, but I can do for. Actually, I need to create an array. Let's have for my items equal 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's verify my items exist. Yep, cool. So now let's see, what is my items dot size? Gives me 4. So we can do 4 index in items dot size. That will give me the indexes, and then I can go if index equals items dot size, or no, if index equals 0. I need to figure out how to pop an item off the top. Remove Godot. Remove value from array. Arrays. Official documentation. Let's see how this dude does it. Remove. Remove at. Return the position. Nice. Beautiful. That is exactly what we need. Okay. So items dot remove at 0. Now in theory, this should run multiple times. So I should be able to do a print items at index. So this should give me 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, and then nothing, if done correctly. Items is not declared. Oh yeah, it's because it's part of my items. Whoopsies. My items. There we go. No. Oh wait, yes, that's correct. Because this isn't in a while loop. If we were to put this in a while through. Guys, this is how I code all the time. So while true, pop items off my item. We're gonna have to reset my items real quick. Do that actually. My items equals 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can delete all this code. I don't like that. Let's put a comma here. There we go. Oh, like that thing. There we go. And then, while true, my items, we pop the items off. And then we do a simple if my items size equals 0, print we're done. We're done. There we go. And break. And we're due here just to print these iterations. Print starting up. So now it should prove my idea. That's not what I expect. Oh, it acts immediately, doesn't it? Wait, how does that work? Okay, so for index in my items dot size, that becomes 4. If index, which is not 4, if index starts with 0, it removes the 0th item. We print. Oh, I need to. Does for loops have continues in GDScript? Continue. This looks promising. Nope. Let's just Google it. For loop continue GDScript. Looping. Yes, it does have continue. Nice. Okay. So we go here, we put continue. And starting up 4. That's weird. Index 2 on type of array. I don't know what that means. Why is my brain not working? Okay. Because basically the idea I have is we'll just pop the characters out as they're coming through. So if the pool is empty, that means all the characters have moved and we can go to the next turn. Okay. Well, true. We start up. If the index in my items.size equals 0, then we remove the index at 0. And we print the index. Let's do a debug print here. Print index and print my items at index. Zero, 3. That's weird. Oh, I'm an idiot. My items equals 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, now print. So now I go 0, 1. I remove the 1. And I print 2 because I'm not continuing. Okay. So my items equals. I bet I could just write that at the top of this. My items equals 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're at a space here. Just so I can easily read the numbers. And okay. So yep, all that makes sense. That's all fine because I don't have the continue. I want the continue here. So now Okay. We start up. We get 0 and 1. We pop 1 off. And that's fine. But we then get 1 here because everything shifted. So now it's 3 at the top, then 2, then 4. Why is it not looping back? I'm going insane, aren't I? Like, I'm doing this bad. I'm just gonna stop doing it bad. Okay. So there's gonna be a pool of moving characters. While through, we're gonna need to create a pool of characters who have moves left. So, pool of characters who have moves left. Do we? We only do because we do this land. Okay. Sit back and let's think about this. I have a pool of characters. For each character, I want it to move. If they have not moved, can I do a for each in an array without shuffle? Do it in a dictionary object. You know what? Oh, it's fairs. GPT this. I'm not at work. I can use my brain powers. Okay. Why are you just floating there? I don't know why it did that. Okay. Or just pop it in here. Okay. ChatGPT. Do this. Tell me what's wrong. Why am I an idiot? Let's rename. Let's edit this a little bit. Why does this GG script not work? Okay. Yep. I get that. Yep. For in range. Is that valid? Let's just grab it and go. Nothing wrong with a quick little run of experiments. Oh my gosh, that looks better. Yep, all that's good. Remove 0, break, instead of continue to avoid index errors. But I want it to have index errors. Okay. So we're getting somewhere. I would like... Actually, what did it show? It showed that, but it doesn't do it because it breaks. I would like the to happen every time. However, now it breaks at index 0 each time, not allowing that line to run for all the other elements. More while loops. I just have while loops from beginning to end. Get current item. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't like that. It doesn't like that I'm grabbing the first element. Let's see if this just does what I'm hoping for. Because if so, we can kind of grab and go. No. Okay. GD script. ChatGPT. Okay. Nothing's working here. I would like the elements each to print once according, or each to print in each while loop while removing the first element each time. This is like if the elements, I won't write that. We'll see how good that goes. I hate ChatGPT. That's not what I want. I want it to print something like starting up 2, 3, 4, starting up 3, 4, starting up 4, and then we're done. My brain is not working. Okay. It won't let me do it because I modify the array. But I could store the array. Okay, this code is gone. Let me just grab it from ChatGPT real quick. I could just store the array, making a duplicate of it. Oopsie. So instead I could go moving items equals my items, then moving items size and moving items, and then items do everything else. So moving item is just a reference size to moving to items. Right? And then if I remove items at 0, that's all fine. This will be continue. Because I'm only affecting this array because I took 1 out, but moving items will still have 2, 3, and 4. So moving items need to go here and here when I grab it. Still pondering the mustard mechanic. Hey, take your time. If you come up with one, I'll definitely make one for you. Okay. So now moving items is where I get the items. Items is where I remove it. I refresh that. And if items is 0, then I know that there's no moves left. And I get a bunch of errors. Moving item is not defined. Yes, because I need to do var equals. Okay. Var moving items equals an empty array for now. Okay. Does this make logical sense? So I say, give me the index. I get 0. Moving item is 1. That's correct. 0 is there, so I remove it and I take it off there. However, this is what I thought. How do I deep copy an array in Godot? Let's see if ChatGPT can just give me that answer. How do I deep copy an array in Godot? Dot duplicate. True ensures a deep copy. I technically don't need a deep copy, but we're just deep copied anyways. Why not go deep? So that will make a oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, so we go 0, remove it. We go 1, we get 2. We go 2, we get 3. We go 3, we go 4. We get all that. Starting, we do the exact same thing and all that. However, moving doesn't need the right thing. It just needs to be filled with values of the same number. Right? No, it needs the items. So we're going to duplicate all the character data every time we move. You need more points. Well, there's ways you get points. There's a way to get a bonus 50 points, but that's a hidden command. So you'd have to experiment on how to trigger that hidden command. Yeah, there's no command yet that gives you points. But there are ways you're getting points. So you might be able to figure out how to get more points. Experimentation, scam. Experimentation. Okay. So this logic works. The downside to this logic is all the character data is going to be duplicated, which is problematic. Is very problematic, but it does work. And this basically becomes this thing with this f outs basically going here. And that allows all the characters to do the lands and all that. So, okay. So, I don't think there is. I think the closest to a multi-line is 3 quotes, yeah. Because this gets read as a string. So we'll just replace this with a string. So we have 4 moving characters. For each character, we roll a die. We update that. Oh my gosh. Character move amount. For each character. We could do this at the same time. We do the on start characters on start. Doesn't OBS have filters for audio path? They have filters for audio. I don't know about audio paths. You could have a notch filter at 4K hertz. Oh. And get rid of the chirp for you guys. That would be good. That's a good idea for hats. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I don't think they have a notch filter, but I bet there's a plugin to do a notch filter. Let's see. That's weird. They have a the move plugin has a moving, or I guess move the value interaction. Yeah, never mind. That makes sense. Noise gate, upward compressor, limiter, invert, variety, expander, audio move, sure. Magnitude, peak, samplers. Yeah, I don't think they have it, but I bet there's a plugin that does it. I bet there's a plugin that does that. I will have to see that. You need something time-based. Those are amplitude-based. Yeah. I'm certain there's a notch plugin. It'll be interesting to see if I can find one. EQ, bandpass, or something like that. Yeah. Low, high, that type of stuff. Yep. Yeah. I'll have to see. But that's a great idea. I might do that just so that I'm at least not annoying you guys. Because I know this is like the second or third time I've had it. Not for this battery. For like multiple batteries I've had since I've been here. So. Okay, so the character's on start is card. And then. Wow. True. I don't like the wow true still. It sucks that I have to have that, but. Print. I don't need the print. Legend. Yeah, foil with hat. Or I sell foil hats. So many names. I need to get a foil hat. Okay. So then I need to do actively moving characters. Or actually, the poor is the moving characters. This is the, I don't know what I would call this. This is only getting used as a reference. So I guess pool of reference equals the pool of moving characters dot duplicate. And that could be costly, but I'm moving all 4 characters at once, so in theory that cost should be kind of mute. Oh, I'm not moving 4, I'm moving 6 characters. So that cost should be mute. This also might allow me to have even more. It really comes down to the mini games at a certain point of like, if I add too many characters, the mini games kind of become more Jackbox and less Mario Party. Okay. So I get the reference of moving characters, and then for each, we'll just do this for index in range pool of reference size. Add the Real EQ VST plugin, which is listed in the Real EQ standalone in the plugin dropdown. Okay, I'll check that out and see if I can get it. Because that'd be nice if I could just filter that out. And then you guys would never know if I have my battery replaced or not. It will be a secret to all. Only I should know. Okay, so for index, all that works right. That's all good. And then inside this for loop, we go, this is where we start dropping into this code. If character at index as their moves are greater than 0. Then we do the passability check. Great. Hopefully I grabbed it. Nope. Copy. Paste. Thank you. We're just delete all of this because we're here. And then that moves them. Vol passability is going to have to be moved out here real quick, only because I need to set this to true. I actually need to get set outside of all of this. Because it needs to be set once. Setting the vol once. And then this becomes this. And then this becomes if not is passable. Character moves equals 0. That's the form where no by the fire surrounding you. It's all fine. It's all fine. I like the warmth. Okay. Even though we haven't gotten far, I think we've gotten it to a point where I can start at least moving multiple characters at one time. Or simulating the movement of multiple characters at one time. We haven't actually gotten to moving said characters at one time. But, okay. So, if it's possible, we move the character. Else. This else is... This is the wrong place for this else. This should be here. This wall can actually be moved. I am misreading things. Okay. There we go. The wall is defined. If it's moved, we move the character. That's good. Else. The character must have landed because they have 0 moves left. Here we go. Okay. Run their run their land stuff, and then we're gonna remove them from the pool of moving characters. Pool of moving characters. Dot remove. At index. That's wrong. That's going to be problematic. We'll worry about that. So, okay. That's going to be a problematic line. Okay. But now at the end of this while loop, at the end of this while loop, we can just go if pool of moving characters dot size is equal to 0. Then we break. Turn is done. Okay, we're almost there. I have 7 minutes. I think we can solve this one last problem. So the problem is this index is coming from the pool of reference, which isn't changing ever. Which is all fine because it gets redefined here. So it's all fine, actually. We're good. So we've pseudocoded out all this stuff. We get a pool of moving characters, which I'm actually going to call it pool of active characters. because that's the characters that are moving this turn. We roll a die for them, which ultimately will become they pick their cards asynchronously. We update the character move amount. We start them. And then while true, we get the pool of active characters. And we create the pool of moving characters, which at the very beginning will be all of them. The pool of moving characters, we get the size of. And if a character at index, this is horribly written, this should be something along the lines of this. So if the character is at the index and it has moves greater than or equal to 0, then they have a move. We tell them to move. Boom. On their current place, they do their move, so on. If they can't move, then we tell them, hey, you're done, you tried your best. Else, if they have 0 moves, let's say they rolled a die of 0, then we tell them that they are landing on this spot again. And in the active pool, we remove them from index. If the active pool size is 0, then we break. Which means we can rewrite this to be a traditional while loop, because we can just go, if the active size is truthy, which we can just do for clarity, is not equal to 0, or is actually greater than 0, greater than 0, then that all works. Because this, we don't mind that it's changing because we're not getting the index. We create a new pool of characters that are moving. We move them, but we remove them from active if they are no longer moving, which means they are done with their turn, but other people can still have their turns moving. And only once all of them are done, then we're done with the turn and we're good to go to start up another one. High five, guys. We solved one problem of a chaos of problems of this asynchronous movement. Oh, I did not think it was going to take us an hour to solve that one problem. Okay. Let's see how the ward is looking. How's everyone doing? Asynchronous fun. I don't even know if it was asynchronous. I think it was maybe just I'm an idiot. I'll take that I am just an idiot. Let's see. So we got a couple choices. We got Final Fantasy, Devil May Cry, or Corey. I don't know what Corey is, but those are our choices to raid into. Any requests? Anyone has a request that we could raid into? Every time I do async, I end up rewriting it to a state machine. I could make a state machine. The real question with the state machine is it going to be faster? Really, this is the thing that's going to slow us down, is this duplicate. If duplicate is faster, then a state machine hitting the same state over and over again, then this will be faster. Otherwise, we need a state machine. I can give you a channel that's always on if you need something to write into. Nobody's online. I'll write into it, sure. I'll take suggestions. Let's see. I should go to the channel before I write into a random channel. Oh, look, cats. Sure, we're right into cats. There's a few people online, but like, come on, cats. Hundreds of cats in a cat farm. This is amazing. Thank you, I sell for a hat. Let me do that. I don't know if anyone's gonna notice me rating in them, but it's nice. Okay, let's do it. Raid. Okay, we're going into a cat farm, guys. I hope you all are excited. I am. Wow. Rating seems to be going really fast. Oh no, there we go. So, the first half was rating really fast. Remember to thumb the like button if you're on YouTube. Can't give me cheers yet, so don't worry about that thing on Twitch. In FPGA, if you want, you can do anything in secret FSM. That is true. I might look into that again and get a refresher. Otherwise, everything is sync at the same time on a single click. That's not necessarily true. I'd have to remember how we did it, but one of my courses we had to do asynchronous circuit design, and it was a nightmare. Stream will be powering off shortly, guys. If you haven't followed, definitely follow. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Let's all watch some cats, chill out for the night, and I'm gonna go get some date night because it's technically date night for me. So thank my lovely girlfriend for letting me do this.
2.
Bye bye, guys. 1. I nearly got this on time now.